Welcome back. We will continue our discussion on the elements of quality plan in this video. In the previous video, we had discussed one of the elements of the quality plan, that is the list of quality goals that has to be there in the quality plan we had discussed in the previous video. In this video, we will see the remaining elements. So the second element that we will discuss here is planned review activities. The planned reviews should include a complete list of the review activities that are to be conducted during the development of the project. So these reviews may be like design reviews and similarly code inspections. So what are design reviews? As the name implies, these reviews are meant to evaluate the design against its requirements and to identify other issues before proceeding to the next project activities. So the reviews may be very formal as well as they may be informal. So the formal design reviews, they are in fact planned ahead of time, and they in fact have a very formal structure, and some experts, for example, outside of the organization, they may also be part of these reviews. Whereas the informal reviews, of course, they may be conducted by inviting the peers or employees of the same organization or colleagues on the fly at runtime. So mainly the difference between these two, the formal and informal reviews, is of formality. Then code inspection. Code inspection is a type of activity to evaluate the quality of the written code. So the aim of code inspection is to determine if the code meets the quality requirements or if it needs any improvements. So there are various aspects that are considered while performing the inspections. For example, we can look for quality of the written code. For example, here to determine or to check whether the general quality of the given code is as per the coding standards. Similarly, architecture and code design is sometimes a point to consider here, and of course here the purpose is to determine how well the application is built or the system is built, and for example how scalable it is. Similarly, readability, anyone who maintains code is happy to deal with the clear code and understandable, for example comments. Or then performance might be a consideration here to determine if the code can be optimized to accelerate its execution. Similarly, security might be considered during these inspection meetings, or to see how secure the code, data transmission, and other activities are. Similarly, memory utilization or memory usage might be considered or evaluated through the inspection activities. So for each review, the following needs to be determined. For example, a scope, type, procedure, schedule, responsibilities. By scope, we mean that what does this review cover? What is what particular work product or artifact is being reviewed here, or what will not be reviewed here. Similarly, the type of review, like what is the actually emphasis, for example, is it managerial review or or technical review, or similarly procedures, for example, action lists, uh, schedules, and responsibilities. For example, who is responsible for carrying out the reviews. So the next element of the quality plan is planned software tests. So of course a list of planned tests has to be there in the quality plan, and of course it should contain details on, for example, the coverage of tests, like for example unit testing, integration testing, subsystem testing, and system testing, and so on. Similarly, it should have information on the types of tests. For example, it may include like computer generated tests and their application via test suites. Similarly, the planned test schedules, like as defined by its priority and uh, the succeeding or previous activities of the project process. And also it should have information on like who is responsible for carrying out the testing activities. This is important to document in the quality plan, particularly in case of large projects where uh, different teams might be working from distributed locations. Therefore, coordination among them will be easy if they're responsible for different tasks, including the testing activities, are identified beforehand. The next element of the quality plan is planned acceptance tests for externally developed software. So in acceptance testing, a system is tested for acceptability. The purpose of this testing is actually to evaluate the compliance of the system with the business requirements, and to assess whether it is acceptable for delivery or not. So a complete list of acceptance tests planned for externally developed software must be provided within the quality plan. So the list may include, of course, like the purchased software, similarly, details about software developed by to be developed by subcontractors, and similarly, customer supplied software. The next element of the quality plan is configuration management. The quality plan should specify configuration management tools and procedures, including the change control procedures that are meant and to be applied throughout the project. Similarly, like strategies related to management of different versions of the work products, and of course to preserve the integrity of the work products have to be documented in the quality plan. So mainly that's all about our discussion on elements of the quality plan. So here we discussed five, in fact, we discussed some elements of the quality plan, like it should have, of course, list of quality goals, should have review activities, software tests, acceptance test details, and details about configuration management, tools and procedures. Uh, in addition to the discussed elements, there may be some additional elements in the quality plans depending upon the nature of the projects. So for that, uh, uh, here we will see a sample table of contents. In this table of contents, you can see various elements, like majority of the elements here are in fact the elements that we have uh, seen in our discussion. So might be I think there are a couple of elements there that are new here, like a scope, for example, uh, scope of the document, or similarly like reference documents. Uh, these are new. Quality goals, software reviews, tests. Similarly, tools, technologies, and methodologies, and configuration management. We had discussion on that. So similarly, another element that is here is problem reporting and corrective actions or problem reporting procedures. So the purpose of showing this a different table of content for a project is that no matter whatever are the elements of the quality plan, it is important to have one. In fact, it is important to develop quality plans. So we will also see an example of a quality plan in our online discussion section. Uh, so that's all about our discussion on the elements of the quality plan. In the next video, we will discuss the importance of quality and development plans for small and internal projects. The material in this video is based on the book titled Software Quality Assurance from Theory to Implementation by Daniel Gallin. Thank you.